If you've been eyeing a compact Toyota because you want great fuel economy but you also want that bit of SUV presence, this is where things get interesting. Everyone assumes the crossover version drinks more, right? Heavier, boxier, less aero. Physics should punish you at the pumps. But with the Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid, that old rule kind of falls apart. So today, let's settle it. If you're shopping hybrid Corolla, do you buy the sedan? Or do you step up to the Corolla Cross Hybrid, especially this XSE you're looking at? First impressions. The 2026 Corolla Cross looks sharper this year, especially up front. It's the one you buy when you want to impress the neighbors without sacrificing sensibility. The stance is taller than the sedan, the nose is more assertive, and an XSE trim the details tie it together. 18-inch wheels on the top spec, a confident grille, and that SUV posture that just reads new. If style matters to you, yes, the Cross has more curb appeal. But let me ask, are you willing to pay a little more for that look and maybe give up a touch of rear seat legroom? Because that's the trade we need to unpack. Slide inside in its classic Toyota. Familiar controls, clear displays, and the same core layout you'll recognize from the Corolla sedan. In fact, the interiors of the two are practically twins. The real differences are which trim gets which toys. The Cross Hybrid lineup is simple, SE and XSE. That's it. The SE already brings a bigger 10.5-inch touchscreen and an upgraded audio system the sedan's equivalent doesn't, though it sticks with a smaller instrument cluster and 17-inch wheels. Move to this XSE and you get the 18-inch wheels and the larger digital gauge set to match the big center screen. You'll also find comfort touches like an 8-way power driver's seat and heated rear seats in the XSE. Nice, practical upgrades for day-to-day life. Space is where the crossover pitch usually lands the knockout. And yes, the Cross does what it says on the tin. Cargo capacity is the headline. You're looking at 609 liters behind the back seats, far more than the sedan's 371 liters, and a truly generous 1,750 liters with the rear seats folded. If you like big grocery runs, strollers, golf bags, or you're the help your friends move person, that high roof wide hatch practicality is a genuine advantage. Up top, there's also more headroom, roughly 25 to 50 millimeters more thanks to the taller roofline, so taller passengers will feel less pinched. But here's the twist. While the Cross is taller, it actually rides on a 60 millimeter shorter wheelbase and is about 140 millimeters shorter overall than the sedan. Shoulder and hip room are a bit tighter, and rear foot space can feel more constrained compared with the regular Corolla. So if you prioritize rear seat leg stretch for adults, the sedan still has a case. If what you need is height and a real hatch, the Cross wins by a mile. Now to the part that shocked a lot of us, fuel economy. The common wisdom says the SUV version should cost you more at the pump. Except here, the Corolla Cross Hybrid has been returning numbers that basically shadow the sedan hybrid. The hybrid system thrives in low speed, stop and go, and the Cross's dual electric motors do a lot of the work around town. The gas engine, though larger and theoretically thirstier, just isn't called upon often enough in that urban cycle to create a big penalty. And if you're wondering whether the Cross feels sluggish because it's thrifty, nope. The Cross Hybrid is the peppier one here at 196 horsepower. It won't knock your head back, but it pulls with a confidence the sedan hybrid can't quite match. It's that sweet spot. Enough shove to merge smartly and climb grades without drama, while still sipping fuel like a miser. So which is the better drive? If you love sitting lower, the sedan keeps you closer to the road and can feel a touch more planted thanks to its longer wheelbase and lower roofline. But the Cross is hardly clumsy. The steering is predictable, body motions are well kept, and the hybrid's instant electric response makes it feel lively off the line. The ride? Agreeably compliant. Exactly what buyers in this class want. Both Sedan and Cross offer all-wheel drive availability across their hybrid ranges, but the Cross Hybrid makes AWD an easy default. If you deal with wet seasons, gravel drives, or just like the extra reassurance, that's another point in the Cross's column. Let's talk trims and money, because this is where decisions get made. The Corolla Hybrid's sedan lineup is deeper and starts cheaper. There's even a stripped-out LEFWD and an LEAWD if you want to spend smart. The Cross Hybrid, by contrast, is two well-equipped trims only, SE and XSE. That simplicity brings standard goodies, but it also lifts the entry point. The sedan hybrid can start as low as $27,740, while the Corolla Cross Hybrid SE kicks off at $35,810. Apples to apples, the Cross SE runs $4,275 more than the Sedan SE. That gap narrows at the top. The XSE versions are separated by just $1,420. And when you weigh what you get at XSE level, bigger wheels, the larger gauge cluster, power driver seat, heated rears, the Cross begins to look like the complete package if you're already shopping top trims. That's why if you're eyeing XSE money, the Cross Hybrid becomes an easy recommendation. Are there drawbacks? A couple, and they depend on your priorities. Value hunters will find better pricing on the sedan across most comparable trims, no way around it. And if you regularly carry tall adults in the back, the sedan's rear leg and foot space will feel more generous. On the flip side, if you need cargo flexibility, the sedan can't touch the Cross's 609-liter trunk and that 1,750-liter seats-down party trick. Headroom favors the Cross, and if you want a hybrid that doesn't feel wheezy when loaded up with people and stuff, that 196 horsepower setup is genuinely welcome. So, if you were buying strictly to save every possible dollar, what would you do? You'd pick the Corolla Hybrid sedan in a lower trim and pocket the difference. You'll still get excellent economy, a lower purchase price, and a very comfortable everyday commuter. But if your life needs space, pets, gear, kids, sports bags, and you want a bit more punch without paying a big fuel penalty, the Corolla Cross Hybrid is the smart splurge. Especially this XSE, it tidies up the feature checklist, looks the part, and costs barely more than the Sedan XSE while doing more of the SUV things you actually want. Let's make it simple. Do you want the lowest price and a bit more rear legroom? Sedan. Do you want a nicer driving position, extra headroom, a giant usable hatch, available AWD as a no-brainer, and near-identical real-world fuel use? Cross. The usual logic says the crossover is the fashion tax you pay at the pump. In this case, Toyota basically erased that penalty. And that's the headline. A hybrid crossover that's faster than the hybrid sedan can carry more of your life and still post a combined 5.8 liters per 100 kilometers in the real world, against a 5.6 liters per 100 kilometers official rating. Only 0.2 liters per 100 kilometers separates the two in practice. That's astounding! If you're shopping at the entry level, the sedan remains the bargain. If you're stepping up to top trims, the Corolla Cross Hybrid XSE is the one that makes you smile every time you open the hatch. And you won't be wincing at the gas station afterward. Which way would you go? Save the money or buy the space and the extra muscle? Tell me how you'd use it day to day, and I'll help you spec the exact one that fits your life.